It's been a minute since we've done a Hans and Honey segment of the show. For those of you who are new to the platform and don't know what I'm talking about, Hans and Honey is when I, kind of skip the intro, no shenanigans or anything like that. I just come at you with a topic and I give you my general thoughts on it, just straight off the hip. And so we're going to do that today. Every few months or so, there's a topic that circulates on the internet. It trends every 3 or 4 months. From the Snyderverse to Xbox and PlayStation to the Switch Pro. It just, for whatever reason, it's just trending. It's always trending. One of those topics that we're going to go over is Lovecraft Country. Yes, Lovecraft Country was trending yesterday and the day before because a topic came up on Twitter about shows that should have never been canceled or deserve a season 2, however you want to frame it. And this is one of those subjects where black people from every corner of the internet come together and agree that Lovecraft Country should have gotten a season 2. And I'm going to explain to you why Lovecraft Country got canceled. The real reason it got canceled. See, you ask any black person off the street that's aware of what Lovecraft Country is, they'll tell you, oh, because of systematic racism, they don't like black people having a whatever you want to come up with. But those are normally from people who have zero understanding of how the film industry works, how Hollywood works, and how capitalism works. We're going to go ahead and do a deep dive. Now, the first thing to know is, what is Lovecraft Country? Because I understand a lot of y'all might not know what it is. The basic synopsis of it is, based on Matt Ruff's novel, the series follows Korean War vet Atticus Freeman, his friend Letitia, and his Uncle George on a journey across 1950s Jim Crow America. What follows is a struggle to survive against the racist terrors of white America and the terrifying monsters ripped from H.P. Lovecraft paperback. So you got the synopsis there. All right, who's in Lovecraft Country? You got talented actor Jonathan Major, who's also playing Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You got Janice Smollett. Yes, that's Smollett. Yes, Juicy Smollett's sister. All right, and then you got award-winning actor Michael Kenneth Williams that is in it, and that's just some of the talent that's So in order to understand why Lovecraft Country failed or got canceled, you have to understand how the film industry works. All right, the first thing that you got to ask yourself is, why would a show get canceled? Normally, a show or a movie or a sequel gets canceled because it doesn't perform well. So the first thing you got to ask yourself is, how much did it cost to make the show, and how much did it bring in? Remember, this is about making money. A lot of people are socialists out there, but at the end of the day, these companies, their entire goal, they have to make money. So, how much did it cost to make Lovecraft Country? Well, according to Google, it took $150 million over 10 episodes to make Lovecraft Country. Now, that's roughly just over $12 million an episode. All right. The general rule of thumb for the film industry is that you spend double of the production budget on marketing, because the more you spend on the production, the more you have to spend on marketing, because you need people to see it. You need to justify the amount of money that you spent on the production. So if Lovecraft Country spent $150 million to make it, you're going to spend $150 million to advertise it. Therefore, it is a $300 million series. Now, let's do a comparison, okay? Game of Thrones Season 1 cost $60 million to make. Now, granted, Lovecraft Country did have more episodes, but it still cost less per episode for Game of Thrones, which had a massive audience and a massive fan base before the show even started because of the books that George R.R. Martin wrote. If you're going to spend double of what Game of Thrones spent on its first season, you better have a big audience. The problem is, Lovecraft Country already cut its legs off before it even started. Why? Because Lovecraft Country is basically set in the racist white America. And the simple fact of the matter is, Most Americans are tired of that shit. They don't want to hear about it. They tired of watching it. They're tired of being told how racist they are or was or whatever the case may be. And so the problem is black folks seem to be the only people in America that think that they can make stuff without white people. They can let me rephrase that. Black people in America seems to be the only people who think that they can do business without white people. You make these shows and you act as though you don't care about what anybody else thinks, but you're only 13% of the population. I don't know if it's, you're oblivious to this or what, but the white community makes up a majority of the consumer base. I hope y'all know that. So when you choose to make movies and shows that are centered around racism and bigotry and all of this stuff like that, whether you believe that audience is racist or not is inconsequential. If they're not interested in watching it, they're not going to watch it. You go up and you ask any person on the street, do they know what Game of Thrones is? Whether or not they watched it, they know what it is. But if you ask any person who's not black what Lovecraft Country is, they don't know because they don't care. And so you have a show that's very popular amongst black people, but not very popular amongst anyone else. Not Hispanics, not Asians, not whites, not Indians, not Midwesterners, nobody. Nobody cares. Because you continue as black people to go into Hollywood and every single thing you make, you just have to make it about being, victims and slaves and whatnot. And so you already cut the legs off of the show before it even got in. So basically what you said was, if we're going to make this show, we have to get every black person in America to watch it to justify even making it. That's a problem. Because most black people are not watching it. Most people, I'm not going to say most people, but a lot of people like to get outside and do things now. Not everybody likes to sit in the house and binge watch TV shows. They'll watch an episode here, fall asleep on it halfway through. But they're not going to sit there and binge watch it like a lot of people will. I mean, if you want to do a comparison, say, take Wakanda Forever. I told y'all it was going to flop. Y'all didn't believe me, but it flopped. It did not make $1 billion, and it's already about to hit Disney Plus. As the first one made $1.4 billion at the box office. What's the difference? Well, one, yeah, they don't have China, but China does not equal a $600 million difference. Two, you told white people not to go and watch it, so they didn't watch it. And so it flopped. It is what it is. So basically, Lovecraft Country did not have a big enough audience to justify the cost of making a season 2. So, hey, it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later.